this is going to be kind of a full webinar and go into everything you'll need to know to make a decision as to whether this software is right for you or not. This software is called Skola, and it's pronounced Skola. Some people have pronounced it like Skola or Skola, but Skola is how it should be pronounced, I guess, Skola. And it's kind of like a scholar, like as in like someone who has like a hat and speaks, kind of. That was where the idea came from. And we originally wanted to make this a membership software. So the original purpose of doing this was we were building member app, and we wanted to kind of extend onto that. And we did start to build on that. And then we found a really good opportunity, a really fantastic opportunity, and we tested it and worked really, really well. And in this webinar, basically what I'm going to be going through is what we've done. First of all, where this idea came from, how much money we made doing it, and then why we created a software like this, and where the software kind of stands, why it's so unique, and why the software is something that is definitely worth checking out. So welcome to Virtual Events with Skola. So in about 3 days, we're launching this software on the 23rd of, or the 23rd, we can say 23rd of May, which is 24th my time. And this is going to be a founders launch. So it's going to be a 4-day launch. And then after that, we're going to be transferring this from a one-time cost to a monthly fee. And the reason that we're doing this is that, first of all, we wanted to get people using the software, because a launch is a great way of being able to do that. We want to establish kind of a set scope that we wanted to complete before launch, and it gives my team the ability to kind of deliver that. And also we wanted to deliver a really high quality software on to pay kickstart that affiliates would want to promote, that people would want to purchase, and that will really help to make money. And that is what this software will do. So we're here for that reason. Now, you will have noticed, or you may have heard of a couple of products that we had last year. And one of the reasons we were able to package up and do virtual events with Skola is because we'd already launched many software in the past. One of those software is Igloo app. If you remember Igloo app, it's a software that we launched maybe in 2016. And we've been working on and developing a new builder for that, which we're releasing in July this year. And we were able to take a lot of the elements from that new builder that we've been building, put it into the software. And we were also able to take from Member App and Challenges app, which we ran last year. Now, both of these software, they had thousands of customers come in. We have now, I think hundreds of thousands of courses and challenges that we actually have in the system that we're supporting. So we're really good when it comes to this type of software. And we were basically building these software and wanting to develop a second version to release. And that's when we kind of had the idea of running virtual events, because one of the major problems that I noticed is that when you start online for the first time and you want to go and start selling, and this is what I did as well, is you want to go and you want to, first of all, figure out what you can sell. And that's what I did for a number of years, is just create a product that I could then go ahead and sell. And what I noticed the problem was, that was kind of frustrating, is that every time I did this, I would go and I'd work really hard on a product, and I would get to the stage where it was ready for sale. And it was really a lottery as to whether people would want to buy it or not. Sometimes people would, but most of the time it wouldn't really take off, and most people didn't really want to buy it. So after looking at that, what I saw and what I observed is that there was a better way of doing it, and a way now with new technology and after everything that happened with COVID, a way that we can adjust that strategy in a way that new people or people that maybe aren't yet, or have an idea, and want to be able to sell that idea, are able to do that without having to create that idea right away, because that's what takes the most time. The sales part of things, the creating of the offer, is actually quick. It can be done in 1 to 2 days. But the actual creation of a product takes a long time. With Skola, for example, we've worked on this technology for 5 years or so, and packaging it up together, just taking the technology we had in Igloo app and combining that with what we had in Member app to kind of bring this forward. That's taken about 1 year to 2 years to actually kind of get that ready, but not real. And the last 6 months has been really the most work that we've done on this, after we started realizing, hey, this is a really big opportunity here. But it takes time. Same with video creation. It takes time as well. It takes, to package up an average course, like 5 or 6 weeks. There's people out there that sell training and saying, you can do this in a week and you can start selling that. If you really want to create training products that help people and make a difference, they take a substantial amount of time. You're talking about weeks, months, sometimes even years to package up something that you can actually go ahead and sell. So that's where virtual events really stands apart as a key opportunity. And if you're really willing to pick this up and use it, then I'm going to show you how you can make a lot of money quickly using this method and save yourself months of time. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And this launch is coming on the 24th of May. And that's that. So what are virtual events? First of all, what am I talking about here? Well, virtual events, there's different types of virtual events. The first type of virtual event is what we would call like an online presentation kind of conference event. And you will have seen these pop up over the last couple of years more and more. One of the reasons that they've popped up is obviously, people, event companies had to adjust what they were doing. They could no longer go to events with hundreds of people because governments wouldn't, there was laws put in place and mandates, whatever. We had that in New Zealand. We had that. You couldn't, run an event with over, I think it was 40 people, 25 people. We had to run my sister's wedding, for example, from a house because there was no way we could have done it at a public gathering, and it had to be small because of the restrictions. And that's how things have been for the last few years. Now, thankfully, things are opening up now, and things seem to be getting a lot better. But as a result of that, virtual events became a really critical part of a lot of businesses' online marketing strategy. So now you'll no longer see live events just saying, hey, come to this event live. You'll actually see that they're selling virtual tickets. And one of the reasons that they're able to do that is because people are buying virtual tickets a lot. People want to attend events, but the problem with events in person is that you have to be at a specific place at a specific time, which is not convenient for a lot of people. For me, for example, if you told me to go over to the States and a week to go to an event, I couldn't do it. But if you tell me that in a week this important event's going to happen and I can attend it virtually, then I can do that. And if the information is important, I'm still going to get the same benefit from that information that I would being at the event virtually as well. The only real thing you miss out on is obviously the in-person interaction, which we're working on kind of putting in place things to make that be able to happen virtually as well. But you'll see that a lot of events actually sell their tickets for the same amount, whether it's in person or whether it's virtual, because the content is the same. And if you're wanting to get information, you wanted to learn from experts in their field, this is one way of doing that. And a lot of companies you'll see have adjusted to this model. Funnel Hacking, for example, they did a full virtual event over COVID and did really, really well doing it. And one of the most successful companies in this space at the moment is this company right here, which is not entirely sure of their company name, but they run AdWorld, they run Ecom Worlds, they run a lot of these world type conferences. They do in-person live conferences, and they also do virtual conferences. And they've had 50,000 plus attend AdWorld virtually. So they're actually just able to sell 50,000 tickets to their event virtually. So these are the types of virtual events that are out there. And these are just a few select ones. There's probably a couple more examples that I'll add in here in the next couple of days. There are individuals such as myself who are going ahead and running virtual events, and they're the main speaker. So they might have a couple of people come in and speak, but it's really a training delivered as a virtual event. And it's more of a workshop type environment. And also you can do this with masterminds. You can do this with, hybrid events, as Nobby is saying here as well. Sage.com does these like hybrid events, and you can do hybrid events. Now, hybrid events are basically where you're doing live in person and you're doing pre-recorded. What you'll notice is that there's a difference between what these companies do. So traffic and conversion, for example, will be a full live event. So the virtual event that you'll see on your screen is actually the live event that's occurring, and it's the actual live event that's occurring in real time. Whereas a company like AdWorld, for example, all of their live event is actually pre-recorded videos that they stream. So they're not actually live people on stage talking at that time. What they're actually able to do using technology is pre-schedule in these recordings, and those recordings get streamed as if they're live at a specific time and place. And you can actually deliver your training like this as well. So they could basically be anything, these virtual events. They could be training delivered in the future. They could be a community get together where you actually have people getting together and kind of communicating one-on-one. They could be a pre-sell or an idea for something. So you could like pre-sell something, an idea for something in the future. Say, for example, like this is what I did. I had an idea for running a virtual event summit. I thought, well, I haven't seen anyone doing it, so let's see if people would be interested. So I put up a sales page. It took me about 1 to 2 days to put together, and then I got it designed and all of that. And then I put it up and live and started selling it, and people started buying. And I was really surprised by some of the what I learned from that process. You can run virtual events basically about any topic. And there are people running virtual events about, fitness. There's people running virtual events about health. There's people running virtual events about like a random niches. Online marketing is obviously most popular. And you can actually sell spots to future training as like a premiere. And that's the kind of concept here, is that you can, because there's a ticket involved, because someone's purchasing a ticket to an event that's occurring in the future, they know that that event is going to occur at that specific date. So you could say, for example, right now, in August, we're going to run an event on, I don't know, cars or like audio parts or, anything you could really think about. Audio parts is kind of an interesting one, but I know there was one person on the last one who's running a virtual event for hairdressers. So they're actually going to be cutting people's hair and talking about like different types of hairstyles and training hairdressers from around the world in different types of hairdressing techniques, which is not a field that I'm very familiar with, but that's what they're doing. And so they're pre-selling spots to that particular event that's happening in the future. And if you have an idea, basically you can package that up and sell it as a virtual event. And the reason you can do that is that, the worst case scenario is that no one buys. Okay, well, you just saved yourself having to create a product, all of that, going through that process of trying to create something to sell, because you know that people aren't interested in that particular niche. Best case scenario, lots of people buy, and then you know that you've got money coming in for this idea that you have. So you're motivated to go and create a event, and you can either pre-record that event and deliver it like a training, or you can actually go ahead and you can get everyone live on Zoom and you can start going through that event with them and running that event. So there's some key benefits here, and also selling spots to workshops. So for example, if you wanted to deliver a workshop over 4 days about a particular topic, you can pre-sell spots to that workshop. Can be whatever price you want to put it as, and people then will join you on that workshop. And you can also sell spots to a software premiere. So one of the things that we're doing and we're working on at the moment is that at our virtual event, for example, we're going to have a big reveal of a new software like update that we're going to be doing, and we're going to be offering like basically some benefits to people at the event as we feature that software. So our software is effectively going to be the sponsor of the event. That you can sell tickets to a software premiere if there's substantial benefits that come along with doing that, if someone wants to be a part of that. And we're actually considering doing that for IGLAP when we release the new version of that in July. So you can sell spots to a community, you can sell spots to a virtual event. Say, for example, if one of the ways that people are doing virtual events at the moment is crypto. So there's plenty of crypto events happening. So I've noticed that some of these events actually have that you need to have a particular NFT, or you have to have some sort of access to unlock that virtual event. And one of the ways that they're kind of selling NFTs is that access that you get. So an access to a virtual event, or access to a live event you get, which is really big as well. And they're really, really good, as I mentioned, because you can pre-sell them. The expectation is, like, if you go and attend a sports event, for example, when you buy a ticket, you don't expect to see that sporting event immediately, do you? You expect that sporting event to happen at the date and time set, because that's when everyone will be there. With a training, though, if you're selling spots to a training course, the expectation is that if you're buying a training course, that course will be delivered immediately. And if you're purchasing an e-commerce product, for example, the expectation is usually, unless it's like a Kickstarter, that you'll receive that product immediately. However, if you are selling a virtual event, or you're delivering a training and positioning it as a virtual event, you can pre-sell spots to that, and people get a ticket. They know when that's occurring, and it means that you can work on your message, you can sell spots, you can work on selling, and then 1 or 2 months before the event's due to occur, you can start actually creating and putting in place what you need for that event itself. So this really can be summarized with sell then deliver. This three words here. So we're selling and then we're delivering. Whereas the traditional model was to deliver, like create, really create, then sell, then deliver. So a little bit different. And the old method was really that you would plan and you'd plan out what you were going to create, the training course, whatever it was, you just plan it and then you'd build it and you'd spend a long time building it and then you'd sell it. And this whole process could take a long time. So planning, for example, might take a week, building might take 2 to 20 weeks, and selling might actually, you might spend like 3 to 23 weeks after the start selling this. And in today's market, this is just too slow. There's too many people out there selling these days. And if you work on actually creating something in advance, then it's possible that the market will have moved on by the time you actually finish creating that thing that you're creating for sale. So this is the new method that I want to propose to you doing. And that is that you sell, then deliver, and then you scale. So you can start selling within your first week. Create an offer page, create a funnel, start selling tickets to that thing that you're going to deliver in the future, whatever it is. It could be a training event. It could be a conference, it could be a speaking event. It could be just that you are delivering training or delivering software at some point in the future, but you're selling tickets to that thing. Then, a few months into the future, after you've sold a number of tickets, and hopefully it's been successful. If it's not successful, you can just refund the people that purchased and just say, hey, this, we're not doing this thing. But if it is successful, then you go ahead and you start to deliver it. So you can deliver your virtual event then months in the future. And because it's a virtual event, the expectation again is that, it can be delivered in real time. If you aren't comfortable delivering the content yourself, you can get other speakers who are experts in your space to talk, because they know that, there's people at your event. There'll be an opportunity for them to get exposure. So it's easy to find people that will speak at your event and talk at your event, which is really, really good. And then, once that event's ended, one of the best things you can do is you can then choose to scale that. So you can run the event the next year. One of the key features that we have is that you can actually go ahead and you can so you can reschedule your event so it happens every 6 months. And you can choose, whether you want to roll people over from that first event to the next event, or whether you want to actually sell tickets to the people that purchased the access to your first event, so they get access to the second event as well. So for example, you run an event in May this year, it then rolls over, and then in August this year, you'll do the same event again. And the great thing about this is once you've delivered the event once, you can make improvements in your content, you can invite new speakers, and you can run it again. And your community will grow, because if people enjoyed the first event, they got value out of the first event, they learned about they learned something at that first event, or they connected with someone that was really useful, they're going to attend your next event. So you're building up a community who, and that's going to allow you to scale even bigger and bigger every event you run. The other option is, if you really wanted to, then you could say that, well, I've proved the concept. People want this type of information. So why don't I create a training course now on this, and I can sell it ongoing. There's a lot that you can do with virtual events. It's a much better model than previously. So sell, then deliver. You can prepare your message, test it, and optimize it before creating anything. And that's really why this is so useful, is that you might not get your sales message right the first time. So you might say that I think that this is going to be the message that'll attract people, how to make money in X, and, people buy, but they don't buy very much. And then you change the headline, you work on your sales copy, you improve it, people start to buy more and more. And this is what I found with my event, is that at first it was slow, and I'll go through the numbers soon. At first it was really, really slow. Then we started turning on Facebook advertising and retargeting, and things started to pick up a lot more, and we started getting sales every single day. So you'll see that a lot of people are using other strategies as well and talking about other strategies. And I wanted to address these here as well, because I believe that sell, then deliver is the very best way that you can get started. If you want to get started, if you want to sell any information online, there's no better way than selling and then delivering in the future. But here's what you might have heard this as well: create, sell, then deliver. So pre-sell, then build your training while you're selling it. So one of the most popular methods over the last 2 or 3 years, and this is something that I tried to do as well. And I created basically created an offer, and I started selling a course on that offer. So I did this for challenges. I did a challenges bootcamp, and I started first by creating the offer, and then people started buying it. And then I started trying to create the training to deliver within a week or 2 weeks to those people that have purchased. So I kind of pre-sold it, but I needed to deliver the training course because the expectation was it would be delivered right away. So I ended up having sleepless nights. I was like working really hard to deliver this product. The product quality wasn't as good as it could have been. And I released it to the people that purchased, but it's not a sustainable model. It's very difficult to do. And for me, I've got a lot of other things that I'm doing. I've got 2 kids and I just don't have the time to sell and then be able to deliver a product within a couple of weeks. You have to know your content really, really well in order to do that. And the problem is also that if you sell, a couple of copies, you've sold a couple of copies of that product, but you don't know if like 100 people are going to buy. You might just sell 2 or 3, but then you've got to deliver that training. So this is one of the popularized ideas over the last few years, which I've tried and it didn't work. It didn't impress me. I didn't like it at all. And the reason is I didn't like it because the reasons that I've said. I just don't think it's a good way of starting a business. I just don't think it's a good idea. You can't work out your offer. And the other problem is that you have to work extremely hard and do like the hustle thing and sleep at your desk in order to deliver this content. It's just not going to be the quality that you'll want. And there's no need for it. There's no need to do this. I did it and I was just, I can't do that anymore. There must be a better way of doing this. So this is what I'm saying. Package your offer up. It might be a training course. It might be something you specialize in. Maybe it's a consulting offer, which you could offer as a mastermind. Package your offer up as a virtual event. Sell it. Okay. So sell it for like June or July. Give yourself a few months. Pre-sell spots. Now, obviously, because people are buying earlier and they're trusting you and you're not delivering it right away, sell the spots at a discount, but just make sure people are going to buy it. And then in the future, go ahead and deliver it. And you'll have more time from the first sales that you make to that time that you can deliver it. And if you see during that time that it's not working, you can just refund customers and you don't have to go through the whole hassle of creating a training product. From the beginning, you can start it with another offer. You can test another offer out, or you could test multiple offers out at the same time to see which one sticks, which one's going to be the best, and then run with that one and then create it in the future. Is this making sense? Let me know in the chat. Is this making sense? Put a 1 in the box if this is making sense and you understand what I'm getting at here, because this is really critical and it's why we created the software. A lot of virtual events, and one of the like key points that people get confused about with virtual events, they think, a virtual event has to be like where I have speakers talking on different topics. And it's like, no, virtual events are masterminds, they're training, they're workshops, all of that. And you can pre-sell all of it as long as you position it right. And we've proven this, it works. I've seen others doing really, really well doing this. And this is what I want to pass on to you today. And this is why we created the software. So is everyone clear? Say yes in the chat if you're clear. Everyone's clear. Let me know in the chat. Just say yes if you're clear. It makes sense, and we don't have to cover it. If you're genuinely not, you still don't understand, put no in the chat as well, because then I'll know and I can explain it a little bit more. Or if you have questions on that, but this is the key concept here: sell then deliver. It's a better model of doing it. You have to, if you want to make money online, you have to have something to sell. So you can't get away with doing something online and making money without selling anything. You need to be able to sell something. And what I'm giving you is a better model for selling, essentially, because you can focus first on selling, and then later you're giving yourself enough time, and you've got the expectation that you're delivering, you're being really clear with your clients, your customers, that they're getting this thing on this date in the future. And then it's up to you to obviously deliver on that date. You have to deliver something that's good quality on that date, but it gives you the opportunity to figure out what people want as well. Because one of the other problems, probably the key and the biggest frustration that you can have when you're going ahead and creating a training product is if you create the training product, then after you've created the training product, you create the marketing and you find out people aren't buying it. Then you make adjustments to that offer, which aren't consistent with your product. You make adjustments to it and it starts selling really well. You've got to go ahead and redo your product to fit that marketing message, whereas everything should really be in sync. And the best way that you can get everything in sync and save yourself having to recreate your training product is by selling first, figuring this stuff out, figuring out what people want, because you can talk to your customers and you can ask them, what do you want? And then you can just deliver that. And that's, it's just such a better model. So the key here is really expectations. So set the right expectations using a virtual event to give yourself time to deliver it months into the future. And if you do that well, you do it right the way that I show you, then you'll position yourself to make a lot of money. And if you have a really good idea that people like, then you're going to be able to deliver on that in a way that is going to make sure that everyone is happy. And that's the biggest thing. You don't want to sell anything that people are going to buy and not be happy with. If you sell something, then you have to create it a week later. People aren't going to be very happy with it. The quality is going to be low, and you don't understand yet what people really want. Whereas if you sell it, you give yourself a few months in advance to deliver on it, then you're going to deliver something that people love because you've listened to them. You've had a chance to perfect your message. You understand what they want, and then you'll be able to create something really good, and you won't have to redo it. So it's just a much better way of doing it. So that's kind of in contrast to what a lot of people are saying. And there's a lot of people out there teaching, build a community around an idea through a community group. That's also not a bad idea. Communities are really, really good to build. But the problem is that they're not perfect because there's too much energy that you have to spend to keep fueling that community without a team. So it's a good idea if you've already got products. It's a good idea if you're already established, if you've got a team around you to help maintain those groups. But I can tell you from experience, if you don't have a team, you don't have systems, it can be a nightmare very quickly if you're building a community, because what I see is that people are selling products on building a community. They've got a team around them. Then they go ahead and they build this community, and it's a really good idea to do that. And then they tell this community to go and buy this particular thing of theirs, or they have a product they're selling in the future, and they can direct that community into that. And a community is a really good idea. The problem is for the individuals starting out is that a community, first of all, unlike a product, you can't sell the value you contribute to your community in the future. Like, you can't keep on selling it, because often a community is fueled based on like a period of time where people are engaged and you're communicating to those individuals. And if you get more people joining the community, you're going to have to continue to communicate to them. Okay. There's a continual investment in information there. And if you're giving away this community for free, which most people teach doing, then, the problem with that is that you're going to have to maintain it. And that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. And also you've got to maintain it while still having to create an offer, still having to deliver a training product, still having to sell that training product to this community. So again, there's issues with that as well. And a better model, again, I just want to emphasize this because a lot of people are teaching this, and I just think there's a much better way of doing it. I've tried this. It didn't work. It did work for me, but it was hard. And the problem is also that there's, you're not told that you should really get a team to help you with the community engagement. I'm not very good at community engagement. Some people are, some people aren't. For me, I'm not very good at community engagement. But what I can do is I can sell tickets to an event that occurs in the future, and I can build a community around that event. That's definitely what I can do. And this is what I think is a better model of doing it. Sell an idea, an offer first, and build a community around that event or around that future goal. You can enroll people who buy tickets into a community immediately, and they can talk to one another about this event, but they've got something to look forward to in the future. Whereas with a community, when you're building a community, if you can't unite that community around a common goal, like in the event circumstance, it's like uniting people around a common goal, which is to attend this event. And then if they attend the event, they have a great time. They love the community. They love the people they're hanging out with. Then they'll attend your next event, or they'll purchase your product, and they'll stay engaged within your community. It's also that you can, again, sell up front. There's no expectation that you'll maintain that community because it's an additional benefit of being a part of this event that's happening in the future, but you don't need to maintain it. It's not part of the actual thing. You don't even need a community to be attached. But then in the future, when this event is delivered, people will engage with each other within that time of the event itself. So it gives a specific time when that community will be active and when that community should be around to engage with one another. Unlike building like a community that has no endpoint to it, which a lot of people are teaching these days. So build your community around your event. That's the key concept here. Start with the offer, start selling that offer. If you want to have a community around it, then decide whether you have the time to actually engage with that community up until the event starts. But if you're starting out and you don't have a team around you, I would say don't do that. Instead, let people know that the community is going to be meeting at this event at this time. It's just a much better way of doing it, because then you've got 3 days which you can fully dedicate to engaging with your community, to running this virtual event, for them to be able to share and communicate with one another, network, all of that. So is this making sense? So yes, is this making sense? I want to make sure, because these I get told about these strategies I try them out, and there's always good and bad with any of these strategies. But when it comes to virtual event and selling, then delivering, I just think it's the very best method that is out there for being able to start a business on the internet that exists today with the current technology we have. Is this making sense? Put a 1 in the box if it's making sense. And if it's not, just say no. And I can, maybe we can talk about some questions, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So this method here, sell, then deliver, is the most effective way that you can get started. It's the most effective way you can build a community. It's the most effective way of creating a training product or a virtual event or making money that you can use, because you're getting money in first before you have to deliver anything. And that's the key concept of this. So I'm saying this because I see that there isn't any hesitancy in buying tickets to a virtual event. Lots of people are buying tickets to a virtual event, and it's not the event themselves they're buying. It's the angle, it's the offer, it's the promise of the event. It's what the problem that event will solve for them. And it's also that, you can actually sell and deliver your training products at this virtual event. So people are buying this, they're buying it really well. There's a lot of people that are buying this right now. And you'll see that, you've got 50,000 attendees attending AdWorld. You'll see their ads all over the place. Ecom World, they've got 30,000 plus. It's working really well right now. And usually in this marketplace, what happens is online marketers pick up on this stuff first, and then it kind of feeds into different communities. And already we're seeing NFT events, virtual events, crypto virtual events, fitness virtual events, health virtual events. We're going to see art. I mean, we kind of are seeing art virtual events. There's like a virtual like art walkthroughs and training that people are delivering right now. You got design, development, law, accounting. It all is going to feed into it. We're going to see virtual events of all of these over the next couple of years. And companies are already doing this as well, because they're seeing a really key opportunity here with virtual events. So this is Ontraport. I use them for some of my email marketing. And I didn't know this, but I didn't know it was Ontraports when I saw it, but it is Ontraports. It was basically a free virtual agency summit that they ran for agencies specifically. So their main target market is agencies that want to do email marketing, automations, all of that stuff, all of it. So they were building a virtual event with multiple speakers for agencies. And at the event themselves, they were sharing about their software. So they wanted to get people around this virtual event in the future in order to advertise and offer their software to these agencies, build a community around it. And it's just a great opportunity because you get to meet people, you get to network with people. Also, one of the other things what happens when you run a virtual event is that people start reaching out to you, like people that have subscriber lists, people that they see what you're doing and they want to be involved as well. So I've had lots of speakers that have reached out to me since I actually started running my first virtual event. And it's been really good. I've got some speakers that are actually going to deliver some really good content at the event who are doing some amazing things with virtual events right now. And it all came from just deciding to schedule a virtual event and then running that. So it's working really, really well right now. So you're going to be left behind? Hopefully not. Here's what we've decided to do to make sure that you don't get left behind. And I'll show you the whole process that I went through in the development process here. But basically, when we had this idea, like I had this idea and I talked to my team about it. And this when I talk about, like I say, I talked to my team, I talked to my developer, and I talked to my wife and said, hey, I've got this idea. Do you think this will work? And they said, like, we don't see any problems. Like, why wouldn't? It sounds like pretty good. So what I did is I went into a software called Figma, and I basically did a sketch. And this was our first virtual event sketch. So I looked at what others were doing. And the difference here was that instead of doing like a virtual event with like multiple speakers and pre-recordings, what I did here is I wrote a sales letter as if I was selling a training product. And I wanted to see if I could pre-sell spots to this training product in the future, because I didn't have time at the time to create it myself. I wanted to test out the idea. And I'd been meaning to create a training product for a long time. It's just I didn't know what to create it on. I was thinking about challenges. We were doing another version of Challenges app. So I wasn't really sure. And I had this idea to basically talk about selling in advance, then delivering in the future. And that was this is like the original sketch that I did. And this I then gave to a designer of mine. He came up with a logo called Virtual Event Summit. And I got this design, and you can actually see this here. It's at virtualeventsummit.skola.com. And I released this. So I started, I created a basic video script first. Now this first of all, you can see the script's really basic. So literally this is who's it for, what it helps to achieve, why Virtual Event Summit works. That's the spelling mistake there. Why Virtual Event Summit work. What to expect, how to get started. And then I put in like a few bonuses. And so that structure, you can just take this. You can take a screenshot of it if you want. This is really good structure. I use this training products as well. And before I perfect and I work on the copy, I want to just release something first to see if it's interesting to people. And usually this structure here can give me a good indication whether it's interesting or not. And then after that, I can improve it, work on it. But it's just kind of the primary kind of base structure. So I got this designed, created a basic script, connected up Stripe. So we had to go and connect up a Stripe account so we could process payments for it. And you've probably got a Stripe account yourself. And that's, then that went ahead and we did that. And then we decided to add a pricing timer. So one of the things that I wanted to do is that I saw that scarcity was going to play a good part in this, because the virtual events that I saw that were doing the best were using scarcity like in a specific way, a way that is not very easy to do actually. And it took us a long time to do this. I'll go into how we did this soon. But basically we went ahead and we did this thing, and it was like, it was difficult, but we did it. And I created a confirmation page with bundles because I saw other events doing this, and I thought that, hey, let's test it and see if people will, buy these bundles. In hindsight, like thinking about it now, I first of all should have just tested that people were willing to buy one ticket. Because if they're willing to buy one ticket, then, there's a good chance they'll be willing to buy a bundle of tickets. But, I wanted to fully test this. So we went ahead and did this as well. So I went ahead and, did these bundles and also created like a basic thank you page. So the designer did all this. I designed it. I did a draft for him, and then he went ahead and designed all this. So the sales side was then done. And this took about probably 3 to 4 days to do in total. So for the designer, he took about a week after messaging him. I said, hey, I've got something I want you to design, schedule it in. I need it urgently. He went ahead and did that. And we got started selling. And at first, like sales were quite slow. I was expecting like in my mind that things were going to go and just explode right away. And, everyone was going to buy it. I'd have thousands of attendees, and it was just going to be the most amazing thing. And I wish I could say that happened, but it didn't. We actually had, for the first few days, like I sent out a few emails, and, I started telling a few people about it, and I got a few sales. Like it was probably like 20 ticket sales, which still wasn't bad. Like it still brought in, a few $100s. And then I think within the first week, we had maybe 2,000 worth of tickets sold. But it was good, but it wasn't a massive amount. But things really started to pick up when really I started doing this. Now, I'll go into what I did in a moment. But first of all, I created this plan. So while I was waiting for things to happen and I was hopeful that this would work, I created a plan and how I was going to, do this, because we were talking about doing a software for this at that time as well. And I thought, well, if this works, then this is a plan that we could implement. So I actually released this plan, and you can actually see it at skola.com/plan. Don't go and watch it now. It's like 20 minutes, but write it down, and it's worth taking a look at. We basically did I created this plan in Figma, and it was basically I'd seen a few other marketers do this. First of all, I thought it was a really good idea. So I created a virtual event summit framework, like what would I be delivering at the event. I created like what the software might do that we would create to do this. And then I started, I created like a consulting offer, which I've turned off right now. It's actually turned off. I've had people calling about this, and I've talked to many businesses about actually running this for them. And I'll go into that like later on. It's not the topic of today, but basically this was how I my thinking going into this. And you can see that I did this a few months ago, and we started working on, what we needed and to run a virtual event. So first of all, we needed funnel software, because you need to create some sort of offer. We needed a ticketing engine. So obviously you need to issue tickets. Now, one of the sort of core things that I worked out about this is that the ticket numbers being unique and the QR codes is really important, a really important component of running a virtual event. People want to know, and I got questions about this immediately, because our first tickets, they didn't have codes on them. They were like really basic. They just had the person's name and they had a ticket, and they wanted to know that their ticket was unique. And so we started adding unique codes to the tickets, and that was really good because added value to the ticket as well. It added value that someone had something physical. And we also gave the opportunity to share tickets with others. So if they purchased a bundle of tickets, that they could actually invite someone and they would be able to redeem that ticket by scanning the code. Instead of like just putting their name in or sending them login details immediately, they actually had to scan the code. And that was like really big for people. They really liked that. A payment processor, so we needed that, and we needed time scarcity, which we'll go into a bit in depth later because it's quite complicated and it'll take a bit of time to explain. But basically, I then started posting on YouTube. I ran ads and sent out emails. So if you remember, things were a bit slow, but I thought this would work. So I just started creating videos. I started posting about this. I ran some ads. I sent out some more emails, and I started talking to people about it more and more. And what I noticed is that the more people started to see this around, the more they would buy. And one of the key components of that was the scarcity. So I started with a price of about $17. And for like, I think it was $17 for 10D tickets. And then the price just started to increase. So people would see the price at $7 or $17. I think maybe it was $7 I started it really low. I need to go back over my stats just to know for sure. But basically I had two types of tickets, company ticket and a 10D ticket. And I started selling them quite low. And then what happened is basically people started buying it and they started seeing it around the place. And then I had people who were, suddenly reaching out to me asking about this event. And then I had people mentioning that they'd seen my ads. And I saw also that every single day I started having people come in and sign up for the event and join the event. And more people came in and bought tickets. So what I noticed is that basically the real scarcity component is really important because people see the higher price, they see the lower price, and they see that real scarcity is actually happening. And they need to see this offer a few times in order to make a decision about it. But if they see that the scarcity is real, that it's actually increasing, they want to go to the event. They were thinking about going to the event. They just didn't pull the trigger. They will definitely pull the trigger when they come back to the site. So sometimes I noticed that people were just like, they'd go to the site, they'd leave the site, they'd come back later and buy a ticket. And that seemed to happen quite frequently. So the retargeting ads were actually really important with this. And also mentioning this on YouTube and sending out emails, not after like the first emails that I sent out were good, but when I sent out emails again, like a second time, a few weeks later, suddenly I got more people signing up for this event. So it means that people needed to see it like once, they needed to see the price was real, that it was a real thing that was happening, that it was legitimate. And then they went ahead and purchased. So just a key tip is basically you want to add some retargeting to your page when you start sending people to it, and also expect that people will have to communicate with you a bit. I've made a lot of sales for this event through Facebook, communicating with people through Facebook who want to know if it's a good fit for them. So I talk to them through it, whether it's a good fit or not. And you're going to need to, that's part of the process of this. So just letting you know about that as well. All right. So sales started to become more steady, which was great. So this was working. It wasn't working the way I hoped it was working. I hoped that it would just load up tons of sales immediately. What I noticed is that the longer that things like stood up and the more that people saw it again and again, the more sales came in. So things started to get a bit more serious at that point. And we fast-tracked the software development when I noticed that this was working. It wasn't working the way that I thought it would. It was working a way that's good. It still works. It just took a little bit more time and people needed to view it a bit more. And we created a software with our goal of delivering an affordable solution for individual entrepreneurs and small businesses to run virtual events. And one of the reasons I set this goal is that when I say affordable solution, I talked to some people as well. I've talked to a couple of friends of mine who are running virtual events when I was looking at doing this software, and they had run virtual events, and they said basically all of the software out there is really expensive. And they were given offers for their virtual events of like $15,000 per year. They said they had up to, some people quoted them $60,000 per year. I talked to other event organizers as well, and they said, yeah, the same thing, that the software in the space is really expensive. And much of it is because that the software that is created was originally created for live events and has been adapted to virtual events. Other software out there, it's not built for virtual events. It's built for doing some other task, but it can be kind of adapted for virtual events if you use a number of other software with it. And there's all sorts of issues with that. So I'll get into that a bit later, but basically I started off with two designs. So I got my designer to create a couple of designs that we could use for a virtual event. I said, create one for a paid event and create one for a free event. And we looked at what we would have within this virtual event. So I looked at all the software that was out there. I looked at how people were running these virtual events. I, at the time, hadn't run any myself yet. I've run like events in the past, and I've been at events, and I've been a part of virtual events, but I'd never actually run my own at this stage. So I was looking at trying to learn as much as I could, basically, from other people in the market. So I was creating what I thought might be the best option. And what I noticed is that announcements, updates is a really core feature of this, because people want to know what's happening at the event as it's coming. So one of the features we have is you can actually schedule announcements to go out and get email to people before the event begins. So for example, if you want to schedule an update like 7 days before the event, an announcement, you can schedule it. It shows up within the virtual event lobby and also goes to people's email address, email accounts. So they also receive an email about it as well. So if they're not logged into the lobby, it will then get sent as an email so they don't miss that announcement, which is really important. So if it's a key announcement, like a new speaker's announced, or a date or time change or a schedule change, you can get that out to people when they need it. Also, you can schedule it in. So, 3 days out before the event, you can say, hey, on this date it's happening. And, you're going to need to remind people about the event because you want them to turn up, kind of like webinars, it's the same thing. And we created a calendar. This isn't actually the final design of the calendar. This is the old design of the calendar, because we learned kind of a few things doing this. But basically, a calendar is really important because people need to know when the events are happening. And depending on the type of event that's occurring, if it's a training event, for example, it's better to just, I'll go into this in a bit, but basically it's better to just have a main stage. I'll go into what that means later on. If you're running a pre-recorded event with multiple speakers, then you want to have those sessions scheduled in individually, so people know when each person is speaking and they don't want to miss that speaker's talk. So they can actually add that to their calendar. They can add that to their Google Calendar, add that to their Google Calendar, and they know that they just want to attend that particular speaker's or those particular topics, so they can just attend those particular topics and miss the others. So that's really important as well. So we wanted to include a calendar in there, and then networking. So this is a feature that's still evolving, but networking was one of the areas that I saw we should allow some interaction online. Now, I've had feedback about this, and there is better ways of doing this than we have right now, and we're working on creating those. So one of the ideas that we're doing in the future is we want to do speed networking, and it's kind of like a chat roulette type thing. But basically, for 30 minutes before the event, you get paired up with individuals. They actually go live on the screen with you, and you get 3 minutes to share about yourself. They get 3 minutes to share about themselves. And then we automatically randomly select another person that we think might be a good fit for you. And you can then network with that person live on chat if you're attending the event. That's where we're going with this. Right now, what we have is we have messaging systems. You can actually message other attendees. So if you see that, it's someone you want to reach out to, you want to have a conversation with them at the event, you can reach out to them, and then you can have a conversation with them through a private messaging system. So that can also be done as well through that right now. And then streaming. So we originally started off thinking we're going to pre-stream all of our events. We're going to pre-record them and then upload them and then run them like that. So we started by doing that, and we created this interface here, which looks nice, and it works really well. So you can upload your videos and it'll then stream them. So that's what we've been doing, and we're doing that for some of the event. We're doing like a hybrid event, and then I saw that others were doing it slightly differently, and I talked to a few other speakers who are interested in the software. At that time, I started talking to people saying, hey, I'm creating the software, and I just wanted to get as much feedback as possible, because I don't want to mess this up. Because when you're creating products, as I mentioned earlier, if you go ahead and create them before you sell them, which you have to do with software, because I can't pre-sell a software that we don't know how long it's going to take. So there has to be some creation in this particular space with software. You can do some pre-selling, but basically, and you can do a virtual event. Like the virtual event, I started advertising the software at the virtual event, which worked really well. But that's a side topic. The main goal of this was to get as much information as I could. So the virtual event we ran through the software would be really, really good. And that's why I reached out to as many people as possible. So we built in a live component to it that allows us to run basically live events as well, because that's really important. So the way we did that is basically building in GoToWebinar integration and Zoom integration, which allows us to run those live. And all of this, if I'd done this all individually, I did the math, and it was about $4,000. So we actually, I spent about $4,000 through the process of creating this virtual event, and that's separate from the software development. It's separate from all of that. The design cost about $1,000. The ticketing engine for my developer to create, the payment process integration, the time scarcity, which was really difficult, and I'll explain a bit how it works soon. The virtual lobby, we created the designs for that, and we did it for ourselves before we actually created the software itself. The calendar system, the chat system, the group, the original layout we had for our own virtual event, the outlay for that in total was like $4,000. So if you wanted to do this by yourself without a software, you're going to be looking at a price of about $4,000, and that's not going to include some of the stuff we have here. It's going to include like a few of the things. And what I saw through this process is I actually did look at other event software and thought, maybe there is something out there that's already done what we're trying to do. And maybe, they've done it better, so I should look at it. And what I noticed is that, there was in terms of price ranges, it was about $300 per year at the very bottom end for just a live presentation. This doesn't include funnels. It's just literally just going live, and the functionality that's included with that. And then there was the hosting, there's other solutions out there. Basically, it was about $300 per year on the low end, and about $60,000 per year on the higher end, which was quite a lot. So I'm just having this weird smoke smell here. So I'm hoping I didn't leave something on downstairs. I'm just thinking that I leave something on the stove. One sec. Okay, fingers crossed. If you see me jump out the window, then you'll know something went wrong. All right. So basically, what we could do is we could do all of the stuff that's crossed out on this list with these other software, and they would have done a good job of doing that. It would have been expensive, but they would have done a good job of doing that. And these are the three sort of components that I couldn't find in any other software. There were the three components that are probably the most valuable and that actually contributed the most to our virtual event. A funnel software that is optimized to offering ticket bundles. Also, this software needs to actually adjust the whole campaign, which is really, really important. And I'll show you what that means soon. Time scarcity. Now, time scarcity was one of the most important parts of selling our virtual event. What the time scarcity is it's basically real scarcity. So when the timer that's counting down for 3 days, so it resets every 3 days, and every 3 days, the price increases incrementally based on a formula we created. So say, for example, your event is happening in 3 months' time. So this is our discounted start price of $17. And this is our retail price of $170. So over that 3 months, the price will incrementally increase. So the time that your event begins, the price will be $170. So people will actually see that real scarcity happening. And when they attend the event, the price they're going to see at your event is $170, not the 17 or not the 30 or the 40 or the 50 that they paid. And the effect of that is a couple of things. First, they're really happy with their purchase, and they're probably not going to refund. So that's the first thing, because if they see that they already got a substantial discount, people that buy on the day of the event have to pay a lot more, then it means that they're going to feel pretty good about their purchase. Okay. They're going to feel like they've got a lot of value out of that, which is really good. The second thing it does is that if they got a lot of value out of the event, the next time that you give them the offer to buy again to the second event, they're going to buy early because they don't want to pay a higher price. They know that you're using real scarcity. So if you build a community around your event, you're just going to make more and more sales essentially, because if they attended the first event, then they're going to hopefully attend the second because they're still interested in the content. If they got a lot of value out of it, then they definitely will. And they'll know to purchase early. So you get tons of signups early on, and it means that your event's going to be even bigger the second time. And that just continues. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can charge more as it gets bigger. The other thing that it does is that if there's a ticket bundle that someone's purchasing, and they give away that ticket to a client, they give away that ticket, because what most people that are purchasing bundles, they're purchasing bundles not for them, their friends or family. They're often purchasing them to give away to clients or give away to businesses or give them away to people that they want to build a stronger relationship with. So they do that. And if the person redeems their ticket and they see that the ticket that other person had bought was $170, they're going to be really appreciative of that. And it's a really cool thing to do for your clients. So That's kind of a side benefit of that. And then groups. And the group functionality is like building a community. Most people use Facebook's group system for building a community with a virtual event, like alongside of it. The problem with that is that Facebook's really distracting. It's also got to manage things on 2 different platforms, which is hard. So we've actually enabled it so it can be done within the virtual event itself. So you can actually say that, our group chat functionality is going to be, working from the 25th of November till the 28th of November. So the community can chat and have a conversation during that time. And then after that, you can switch it off. So you don't have to maintain it. You don't have to worry about it, but it adds value to your event and it allows people to ask questions, allows people to engage in discussions with the speakers for that period of time. So there's an endpoint to it, because that's, if you need to set dates for this stuff. It's really important. So I want to introduce you today to a better way of doing what we did, and a lot more affordable way of doing it. And that is with the Skola software. So let me show you what this software does, why I'm so excited about it, and what this is going to be able to do for your business. And I'm just going to try and work out how to do that, because there we are. I'm using another screen. So I'm just going to bring up now the software and show you what this is. And I can see some questions already being posted. I'm going to answer like many of these questions during this next portion. So I'm going to answer those questions shortly. So I'll go across and I'm just going to load up the software interface. Cool. Now you'll see that this is actually a test account of mine, so it has a lot going on, but it'll be okay. Put a 1 in the box if you can see my screen. And welcome, Al. Good to have you on. And I can see a lot of other familiar faces here as well. So welcome. Great to have you here. And I can see a lot more people have joined since I last checked, which is awesome. Welcome, Steve. So getting a lot of 1s coming in. Fantastic. Awesome. So that means that it's working. So this is the interface itself. And this is the Skola interface. And you can see here we've got different campaigns. So let's go into one of these. When you start a campaign, basically a campaign is your brand. It's your website. So you can have multiple funnels, multiple offers, multiple sales offers, multiple products soon, not yet, but multiple products soon that'll be on that same brand within that same campaign if you want. So say, for example, if you wanted to run 3 different virtual events from the same domain, you can do that with our system. So let's first of all go into the edit funnel. So the first step when you're creating one of these virtual events is first of all to go and create your own funnel. And I'll actually create a funnel for a campaign from scratch here. So let's create a virtual event on, we've got a virtual event coming up. It's called Start by Skola. And this is like a virtual training event we're doing. It's a free event, but let's just position it as like a paid event. So you can adjust your color here. Then you can kind of add your logo here, which I hopefully have on hand. We will see if I have this on hand. But basically, you just want to add a logo here. So I should have a logo here. Let's have a look. One sec. I'm going to have this ready for the next webinar, so I have it available on hand. But basically, we've got that there. So we click create, and then it's going to create our campaign down here. So we've got Start by Skola. I already created this as well. Oh, that's okay. I'll delete that, and I will create a new one. So we then create a new funnel. So this is going to be, a funnel name would be like Start. It could be Start Offer, could be Start Sales Funnel. It doesn't really matter. It's just a label that you can keep track of. And then it's in draft mode. And then after that, you can add a product as well. So this might be like Start Event, like virtual event, maybe. Virtual event. So this is going to be our Start Vitual event. Cool. So in this, we've got a product now and we've got a funnel. So first go into our funnel, and you'll notice, depending on which package you have, you'll get the option to use a virtual event from the Virtual Event Summit, or you'll have the option as well to run a free lead event if you want to. Now, right now, we've, as you can see here, we've kind of got a funnel interface, and these are 2 examples we have right now. Like in the future, our plan is to offer more funnels. Like we're just offering what's working for us right now. We're going to work out what other people are doing from our community, and we'll put in new funnels that will work really well. But this is all you really need to get started with this right away. So select a template that's going to work for your particular event. And then it's going to basically load up that template for you. And we've got a funnel planner here. Now, this funnel planner shows you all of the different steps of this funnel. Now, soon what we're going to have with this, and this is going to be really cool, but we wanted to have it for launch, but we haven't yet had it, is we'll have a plus and minus button. So basically a plus button here. So if you want to add additional pages, you can add additional pages with upgrades. If you want to take away pages, like if you wanted to like remove these order summary pages, you didn't want to do these particular offers, you would be able to just like minus them and remove them from your plan. Right now, you can put them into draft mode. You can make them inactive, and that will do the same thing. So people will buy a ticket from here and they'll go directly to your checkout, which is also possible. You can remove these bundles. But for this example, I'll show you the way we did these events and the way that I recommend you do them. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you as well about the bundles is that these packages, I highly recommend using them if you can. So if your event works for selling ticket bundles, use them because you'll increase your revenue immediately by about 15%. Also, when you are selling tickets, so we've got two different ticket styles here, two different types. We've got a attendee ticket and a company ticket. And the attendee ticket here, this attendee ticket here is for attendees, and the company ticket is for companies to attend. So if the company wants to attend and they want to like advertise their company at the event, then they can do that. And you can sell the company ticket for about 3 or 4 times the price of your attendee ticket. And what I noticed is that with our particular space, we've had more company tickets sold than attendee tickets, which surprised me. So we've actually made more revenue through company tickets than we have, and our sponsorship opportunities than we have through our actual like base attendance level. So really important to note here, if you are running a virtual event and you can add an element to have an upgrade like a company ticket or something else that can be basic or like another way of doing this is attendee VIP. Okay, so attendee VIP, like a VIP attendee. You will notice that through that increment, if your offer is good and you're offering something like some value above and beyond that's going to occur automatically within your virtual event, you're going to make more money from that. So for us, we don't put any extra effort because we've already created the technology. We've leveraged our technology to deliver the company features. So when someone buys a company ticket or an attendee ticket, it doesn't mean any more work for us. Okay, so we don't have to do any more work for that money, but we make more money out of it. So obviously we want people to buy the company tickets. And I was surprised by the amount of people that purchased company tickets. I'm just going to turn this off. Whoops. Getting contacted about launch. And there was more people that purchased these company tickets than attendee tickets. We made more revenue through it. And we're going to add another upgrade very soon to this that we're testing and will be available to everyone. Where basically we've got another upgrade for companies where you can actually have sponsorship booths. And we've built into the lobby different opportunities for like companies to join. But this is what it is basically. So we've got this and we've got our, this is our tickets. So the builder itself allows you to individually edit these pages. And the builder itself is built on, as I mentioned, our Igloo app interface that we've been building for a long, long time. It's very stable. It's very good, really easy to use. There's a few refinements we're doing at the moment, but by the time you get into this, you'll be able to, edit whatever you want. So if, for example, I wanted to change this to the 18th. I can do that. If I wanted to change, anything on this page, I can do it really easy with this software. I can also drag in different elements if I want to. So this is fully customizable. So I can just select this element feature here and I can drag in anything I want. So for example, if I wanted to, one of the common things that I would do is I'd add maybe a couple of layouts here. So 2 layouts, and I could if I wanted to drag my video into here, for that layout. And then I wanted to have something else here. Like one of the common ones that I've seen on these virtual events is that they might do like a list bullets here. So we can kind of do that here, and we can then change the color of those bullets. So we can make them a lighter color, and we'll do that for the text as well. So just go down to text and just type that as well, do that. And then we can just edit it, move it closer if we wanted to where it is. So we can go down, we can say distance from bullets is here. We can change our alignment a bit. So and change the spacing up, and we'll align these over here. So my video is that size and my bullets is this size. Then if I wanted to, I can increase the font size of this as well. So I could go and I can adjust it. I can go up, I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. I can also, if I wanted to, just fully edit the bullets here as well. With a bit of time, you'll be able to do, whatever you want here. We put numbers, dashes, or you can even add in custom ones. So if I wanted to put in like a custom icon for this, I can choose from either my media storage, and I've got like lots of media stored here as well, or I could go ahead and I could choose a, custom icon for this particular, what I'm doing here. So, and that'll then be available here, and I can change the color of it. So there's all sorts you can do with this, but basically this full system here is fully editable. It's fully changeable. You can move elements around as you want. You can customize anything you want. And we've got different elements that allow you to basically have full customization and full ability to do whatever you want with the software. Just found a bug, so I'll be repairing that. But you can also do custom HTML as well. One of the major parts of this, though, is our order summary and company page. So if you want to sell multiple tickets to your event, you can use this system here to do it. We've also added another opportunity here. So in another one of our upgrades, we've included bump offers. Now, bump offers, and you'll see we're still working on this. It'll be thank you page, not webhook soon. This is getting released on live today, I think. Basically, you can add a bump offer here if you want. And that bump offer is really important because if you want to add maybe 40% revenue to a particular offer, this bump offer, if it's a good one, can do it. So one of the ways that you can do this is by offering, say, for example, a VIP bump offer, which might include, some special benefits. Or another way that you can do this is you can actually have the replay. So you could actually publish those replays as a bump offer. And that you're going to have a large percentage of people that will pick that up. So you can add bump offers with this. You can also, if you want to, do what I said with that price sync. So here's how the price sync works. You can set a retail price, which is the price that the tickets will be at launch. So that might be $200, for example. And you can start off with an introductory discounted price. So that might be $20, for example. And our formula will apply. So basically at the start, for the first we'll say that your event's happening in 4 months. For the first 3 months, the price will integrate, it'll move up slowly. And then in that last month, it'll start to increase more substantially. And before the event, in the last 3 days before the event begins, when you're going to have a lot of people going to the event and looking at the event, it'll start to increase substantially. So by the end of the time that by the time that the event begins, the price will be $200 retail. And you're going to have, and first of all, people know that it's real scarcity. It's all working together because all of these prices need to sync up. So all of the prices, the retail price, the prices here, the prices here need to adjust. And also we need to adjust within your payment system. So when someone buys, they will actually, get that price that they are, that it's been incremented to. So they'll actually be able to buy based on that as well. So that's also very important. And that's what you'll be able to do with this system as well. It adjusts absolutely everything for you. It's mobile responsive as well. So people on their mobile phones can buy this. They can buy the packages. We get probably about 55% of people that come to this purchasing from their mobile devices. And then you can also adjust your checkout page. You can adjust your thank you page, and you've got those available to kind of work through as well. And again, these are really customizable. The only elements that you can't customize here is you can't remove the download ticket because you need to be able to give them a download ticket option. But you can add things into here. So you can add if you wanted to. We don't have it here, but soon you'll be able to add a video if you wanted to add a video onto your thank you page. So you could add a video here to kind of describe a bit more about what's happening at the event and what to do. You'll be able to add buttons and text. The only thing you can't adjust and can't delete, but you can adjust it, but you just can't delete it, is that download ticket. And also you can update your own, ticket design here as well. So one of the critical elements of this tool is basically being able to provide tickets to attendees. And you don't obviously want to have our ticket here. You want to have your own custom ticket. So right now you can upload your own custom ticket into our system, and then it will actually take that ticket and it'll send out that ticket with the details attached to it. But soon, and what we're going to be doing after launch is we're actually rolling out a system where you're going to be able to select a ticket design, and from our system, you can actually customize and build your own ticket. That'll include unique QR codes and unique codes as well, and also your logo, and the dates of your event. All of that will be able to be built out, and you can actually choose from multiple different like looks and styles for your tickets as well. So this is one particular style we have here. You'll be able to choose different 3D styles for your tickets, and that's going to be really cool as well. Cool. I'm getting Brian saying, hurry up, put the buy link in. Well, that's the first part of the software. So we've got the funnels part is done. So you can spend whatever time you want perfecting your offer. And once you've finished your offer and you've gone ahead and you've created everything you need for your offer, you can start selling it immediately. So you can just go and I didn't do it here, but I can do it here. You can just turn it on live. So just click live here, and you can choose which URL you want for it. You can connect up your own URL. So you can have this on yourdomain.com, for example. You can also add tracking scripts, add actions. You can capture people into an autoresponder of your choice. Basically, you just want to click save, and then it's live. So this is now viewable live. I can actually go to the funnel here. I can, when I make adjustments, I can also click on, and I didn't do this in the past, but you can basically click on save and publish, and you can then save and publish that, and then you can view it on your, how it looks. So you can view a preview of it, and you can actually walk through these different pages, and you can view previews of each of them. So that's also really, really cool. So it's done. You can start selling immediately. So you could spend the afternoon writing up your sales copy. You can use the same structure that we use for our virtual event and just put in, the information you want to put in, customize your design, your logo, your brand, all of that, and then start selling. And you can start selling before you actually do anything to your virtual event. So you don't have to do any work here until about 7 days before your event, if you wanted to. I recommend doing it, like preparing it a couple of, like at least a month in advance, but you don't need to. So when you go into here, what you'll see, and this will be your logo, it won't be ours. We're just updating that at the moment. But basically it has an event schedule. And the first step that you have is choosing when your event is going to begin. So choose what your first session is going to be called and when that event's going to begin. And then you can actually start posting announcements after you've done that. And then you can also start adding people to your event. You can adjust your design of the event itself. Like currently it uses our design, but you can customize your own design, add your own background, add your own dates and times and all of that. And then you can manage everything through here. So the best thing that I can do is probably just show you one of our live campaigns right now, so you can actually see how it looks when it's live. So we've got here, I've actually activated the community feature. We don't need that. So I'm going to turn that off. I was doing a video about it. So there it is. I'll just update that. So what I'm doing with my virtual event is I'm doing 3 main stage events, and I'm doing main stage and I'm going live for 8 hours each day to deliver my content. And during that time, I'm going to have speakers on, and I'm going to have I've got 3 speakers lined up already, 3 speakers, and they're going to attend. And there's a specific format that we're actually using for this virtual event, which actually one of the attendees is going to be sharing, which is really, really cool. So basically what we're going to be doing is running this over these times, and at 2 a.m. in the morning here, yes, 2 a.m., I'm going to be going live, and at 10 a.m. I'm going to be finishing the event and probably having a big sleep. But that's because I'm in New Zealand and the time zone here isn't so good for virtual events where most of the customers are from America. So we're going to be basically doing that. In this main stage, people will jump in here. They'll see a join link. They'll be able to join this main stage, and they'll also see in the event itself, like this is what it looks like for the attendees. So when we send out tickets to this event, which will be very soon, they can see a main stage here. They can see details about what's happening that particular day, a countdown timer of when it's happening. And I don't know why it says cancel here, but basically there'll be a join link here, which will basically be join, and they'll then be able to join this virtual event. And when they jump into the lobby, then they'll be able to view the live presentation through Zoom. Okay. So every event here has a join link that'll be added, and that join link becomes available an hour before the event, and then they can join through that link. There's also a calendar here, so they can see the different talks and different speakers. So if you're doing an event that has like a main speaker like me, then it has one speaker here, but soon we'll actually allow for multiple speakers at a particular session. But you can actually use these as sessions. They're essentially sessions. So if you've got if I was speaking in the morning, for example, so we went 2 a.m. to 3:30 a.m., and then we had a break for 15 minutes, and then, or 30 minutes we'll say, and then we had another speaker coming in from 4 a.m. till 5:30 a.m., then I could have these as separate sessions and separate speakers available for that. Also, your speakers, you can add them into the event lobby as well. And your speakers will then be able to see the events that they should be joining and when they should be joining those events as well. I can also post announcements. So you'll see down here, if I scroll down, this is an announcement here. So you can see this announcement. I can read more. I can load this up and I can comment on it. And these are for like announcements that you might make about new speakers, about different important events that people need to be aware of. You can kind of post this out, and you can also send these out as emails through this announcement section here. And you add one of those really easily just by clicking create. Then you can post an announcement out about a particular event that you're running. We've also got the first session begins in, so you know when that's happening. You can click this to see a preview. You can add people who you want to add manually, like speakers, or if you have a friend of yours who you want to attend and you don't want them to pay, then you can add them manually. If you've had a bunch of people purchase another product of yours and this ticket was a bonus for that other product, you can then bulk import them. So you can just bulk import into our software, and it'll add them all and send out their tickets automatically. You can customize your event through here, your product logo, your product banner, and you can also customize the colors that are used as well. Now, this is an area we're going to improve after the launch, but it's fully flexible at the moment. It just doesn't look as nice as it could. So that's what we're going to be working on. You can also actually offer support for your customers as well. So we've actually got a private messaging system here, and anyone who is in your event, you can actually turn on a widget that'll pop up at the bottom of the screen. And if they're attending your event and they want to ask a question about their tickets, about their, about the event itself, they'll be able to click on that, message you, and you'll get a notification up here that they've messaged. You got to jump into here and you'll be able to start networking with them, communicating with them, and selling from here as well if you want. Also, all of your participants, they also have access to a messaging system, so they can actually message other participants and engage with them directly. And they can also, as you can see here, they can see notifications coming in and engage as well. So that's what's included with the virtual event itself. Now, you've got two options when it comes to an event. I didn't mention this before, but I probably should. So you've got a couple of options here. So right now we've got manual URL and we've got pre-recorded video. Now, our Zoom integration will soon be available. We're just waiting for approval, final approval. We've got approved for every single stage except for the security check. They're just doing a security check on our application. And then once that security check's done, then you'll just select Zoom here, and it will basically automatically schedule it into your Zoom software. If you use GoToWebinar, we'll have a similar integration with them. But right now, what you need to do is take your join link. So this is the join link, for example, with a J in it. And you need to plug this in here manually. So people, when they click on the event itself, will be able to see that join link and attend. If you're running a pre-recorded video stream, you can upload your video into here, and then you click save, and that will then run at the time of your event. It'll then stream the video as a live event, as a video stream. And then, people will be able to watch that, and it's inside of a lobby that allows for comments, and also for it'll basically, when that event ends, it'll count down the time for the next event as well from that live lobby. So that's basically what you do. So you create a virtual event at the time the event begins. You then have your different places where someone can join the event, whether it's watching a pre-recorded session within the software or whether it's on Zoom. You can then do that. And then from there, you can manage everything that happens with your virtual event from here. You can schedule an announcement. So as talks are beginning, you can schedule those announcements in as emails to people and let them know about each individual talk that's happening, or the ones that you find that they might be interested in. And then you can run your full event. And our software also includes the ability to see transactions and sales. So we've captured some of the data. When we started the software, we didn't capture a lot of the beginning data, but we've captured some data here. So these are some of our sales that have come in, for example, through the software. And we've also got analytics. So you can see here, we've got some sales coming through as well. Analytics isn't loading for some reason. I'll just check why not. Should be loading. There we go. So the sales that we've captured here, you can see here during the time that we were capturing these sales, that it's gone ahead and, or during the date that I've specified here. So we can go last month, for example. We're doing a lot of promotion for this particular event last month. So you can see that we've got $150 that day, $114 that day. And you can see the sales coming in on which dates as we had this connected up to the software. So that's all available. You can also see your net revenue, so how much money you're actually making and when it's being made. So if we went for, say, for example, last month, we can see which days that was happening, what events might have occurred that led to those sales. And we also see the breakout, like how much we made from our company tickets. So in this particular case, 57% of our money was made from company ticket sales, and attendee ticket sales were about 42%. So really interesting there. So that's the software, and that's what you can do with it. You don't need to run a paid event. You can run a free event, which is a lead generation event, if you want to sell a product at the event itself. The way you do that is, again, I can probably do it here actually. We'll just put like free event, and we can actually just go ahead and we can choose our funnel, our free funnel. So we choose our free funnel here. It'll load up our free funnel. The form itself, you can connect this up with the software. So if I zoom in here, so we've got landing page, our free landing page. We've got our thank you page. You can click on your landing page here, and this will load up the landing page. You can customize this as you want. And this will basically, anyone who enrolls through this form will be automatically enrolled to your virtual event. So they'll receive a ticket, they'll receive the dates and times that everything's happening, and they'll be within your interface as well. So you can also run free events through this interface too. And then everyone who buys a ticket will go to your thank you page, they'll receive the ticket. This is being updated, so it'll actually have a different ticket now. And then they'll be able to kind of engage with that as well. All right. So who's excited after seeing that? Let me know in the chat. Say yes, a big yes if you're excited after seeing that. I can tell you there is nothing out there that'll do this at the price that we're doing it. And many of the major features that we have that have contributed the most to our selling, they're not available in any other software. So you will not see like the price sync feature. You'll not see ticket bundles, not an easy way of doing them anyway. And there's a lot of other features we've built into here that have made a big impact for us that we've been testing that have worked. Some of them haven't, so we haven't added them in, but other ones have, and we've added them in. And one of the other ones we're testing right now is sponsorships. So if people buy a company ticket, they can actually upgrade that company ticket to like a larger sponsorship. So actually sponsoring like the event itself or sponsoring like a banner inside of the software. All of that's going to be available very soon as well, like limited sponsorship spots. So I'm really excited about it. We're using the software ourselves, and I've showed this to a lot of speakers, some of them who make, hundreds of thousands of dollars from their events, their virtual events. And this has got them really, really excited as well, because it just adds everything that they need basically into one place. And for you, there's so many opportunities to start selling with this. I haven't even talked on the opportunities for helping businesses like start virtual events and run virtual events for themselves for your own virtual events. Instead of creating a training product, instead of creating a product, run a virtual event. So start selling a virtual event months in advance. And once you start seeing sales coming in, then start creating that virtual event and delivering it. And because it's a virtual event, you're in charge of that delivery. Just make sure that people are really happy, make sure that it's high quality, but you can bring in money beforehand because of the expectations that go along with virtual events. So let me show you a bit more about this and in particular. So we'll go into our, hopefully this is the right slide. Cool, that is. And we'll have a look. All right. So what the software does is it includes a sales funnel planning system. So this funnel planning system at its current stage, what the stage that you've seen it is its most basic at the moment. It's still really, really good and effective, but we're going to have plus buttons, so you'll be able to add upgrades to it. And you're also going to be able to move these around in the future and adjust it a bit easier as well. We've got sales funnel editing. This builder itself is very good. It works really well, and it will allow you to do things that other builders will not, such as our automated price sync feature, such as our ticket bundles. No other software that I've seen allows for that. And we're going to be building a few more features into this in the future that, again, will take it another level. And because we're focusing on virtual events, we can be a lot more specific with what we offer within our builder to help you to improve your sales for virtual events. Now, if we start going and creating if we were doing this for everything, we couldn't be so specific. But because we specifically created this for virtual events, we can be really specific with our features and offer a higher level of customization as well. So we've got a payment system in here. You can sell multiple ticket bundles. You can sell bump offers as well. You can sell upgrade offers, and that's all built into the system. And then we've also got a thank you page, which delivers the ticket at the end. So if you upload a custom ticket to this, then you'll go ahead and you'll be able to do that as well. You've also got an event lobby where you can run your virtual event. Now, this event lobby gives you the ability to do hybrid events, which is basically a combination between live and pre-recorded. It'll also give you the opportunity to do full live events if you want, or you can do pre-recorded events. So it's really up to you what type of event you want to run. It looks really good. It works. So 7 days out before the event, ticket holders will get a notification allowing them to add in their ticket code. Soon it's going to include a QR option, so they can actually scan their QR code for their ticket in order to gain entry. And why have we done that? Why are we doing that? Well, it's because if you want to run a live event and you also want to have a virtual element to that live event, because we are going to start doing like live events as well in the future, then you can use that QR code. So someone who's doing the live event can bring in their ticket, their physical paper ticket. You can just scan it on your mobile device and you've marked that they're actually at the live event. If someone's attending their event virtually, then they can either enter in their ticket code, or if they wanted to, if they'd printed out their ticket, they could scan it on their camera through the QR code system we have, or use their mobile device to do it. And it'll then gain them entry as well. So that's just another way we're kind of using this as well moving forward. But basically, if someone's attending virtually, they'll be able to gain access to this lobby. They'll be able to see announcements here. They'll be able to see an events calendar, so what's happening. And also, if it's turned on, they'll be able to actually attend and network with other attendees as well, which is really cool. Then finally, we've got our live event option here. Now, you can run a live event like streamed as a live event, pre-recording, or you can run a Zoom or GoToWebinar event. And finally, after the event itself, if you've sold or advertised replays, our system will actually deliver those replays for you. So if you've uploaded pre-recorded videos, you can upload those pre-recorded videos and you can then send them out and allow for people within your lobby to view those recordings, which is really important. And if you've created the Zoom, like a Zoom, if you've delivered it live on Zoom, then you'll have to take the recordings from Zoom, download them and upload them into our system. And then we'll be able to deliver those as well. We can actually add the URLs. There's like replay links you can generate through Zoom. It's a little bit more of a manual process, but it can be done as well through the system too. So let me go through the offer and what's included with this offer today. So this is why this is really special and why we're really excited about this. Our goal in the future for this is to build it into a SaaS. So we want to be, one of the best virtual event software out there. We want to be delivering virtual events for large companies, for speakers. We want to be, the software people come to for virtual events. In order to do that, we're going to need to move to a different model. We're going to need to be a monthly or yearly software. The reason is that we need more money to invest in the software. And the only way to do that is through building a SaaS model. That's why companies do it. And that's where the value within the company is. It's within the amount of people we have using the software at a monthly and yearly cost. But in saying that, many SaaSes and the way that a lot of people model this is, first of all, starting with founders. So we've obviously spent a lot of money getting to this stage. We've spent a lot of time getting to the stage. And as a reward for being one of our first founders in this software, we're offering a discount to give you lifetime access to many of the features within this software. Now, if you want to jump in and get this founder offer, it's going to save you thousands of dollars. So it'll save you thousands of dollars on what you would be doing if you tried to do this manually on other software out there, or our software if you decided to buy our software after launch. So this is during this launch, we're doing this offer. We're not going to be doing it after launch. So after launch, the price is going to be increasing to a monthly and a yearly. And I'm pretty confident we'll be able to go out and sell the software at that, knowing what our competition is doing. And they're positioning themselves a lot higher with a much higher monthly cost, much higher yearly cost. So we're still going to be really affordable, but founders are going to receive huge benefits and basically getting access. So as a founder on the front end, we're going to have these features here. So everyone who gets access to the front end software will have lifetime access and benefit for life with the funnel software. So you get the funnel software, you get everything that I've shown you with the funnel software, ticketing engine, payment processor, time scarcity, virtual event lobby, calendar, chat system, group, live streaming, and replay system. So the live streaming is like live streamed events. So everyone who gets access to the front end offer will get access to this package here. Then we have all access. Now, our all access package gives you access to a lot of things. And I've given away the price here. This price is actually way too early, but you can see the price. I don't need to hide it. The price is going to be on our launch for founders is going to be $297 one time with 30 days free to all access. And then after that, we're going to have a basically an offer where you'll be able to keep paying for all access for a lot lower. So the price of all access is going to be $47. It's not going to be anything close to our $97 and $197 prices per month that we'll be offering after launch. And if you get all access, that's helping us to support us to build this software. So there's a lot of benefits in doing that. You get 30 days free. So you pay $297, 30 days free. And then after that, you're going to be getting access to all of the all access features. So you'll get bump offers, you'll get ticket bundles, automated price sync, sponsorships and booths, which is a new feature we're testing out now, but we'll be adding into the software soon. Coupon codes, white label branding. So our software branding isn't included there in this software, and it gives you the opportunity to offer this to clients in the future as well. A ticket designer, you can run evergreen events, rollover events, community groups. You'll be able to basically view our in-depth sales analytics, file storage, video and audio player, PDF management, accelerated training, future updates and upgrades, which is a big one. So we've got a lot of future updates and upgrades that we're only adding exclusively into All Access. So you'll actually be able to get access to all of those within All Access. And also as part of this, ongoing workshops, Facebook group, and VIP support as well. Then we've got our Pro package, which is included in this package today as well. And this Pro package, we're going to be selling at launch for a price of $67. And that's going to be going up to $97. And then when we go to a monthly and yearly, it will no longer be available. We're going to have a period of time where you'll be able to update for $97 if you don't get it during the launch. But then after that, it'll be part of our monthly and yearly package. And that includes the free event that I showed you. So if you want to run free events, you need to get Pro. Automated price increases, that's also included with this. So the ability to incrementally increase your price. We've also got, as part of this here, a marketplace and networking. So those networking functionalities is in here as well. We've got a certificates feature. We can send out certificates after the launch to people so they can get certificates. And also we've got evergreen events. Now, evergreen events and rollover events, they're really important because basically what that means is that if someone gets access to your event and you want to roll that event over, or if you want to schedule an event to happen every 6 months automatically, you can do that when you get Pro. And then we've also got Virtual Event Summit. So I've got here 497. That's 297. So with this, you're not going to get 5 company tickets. You're actually going to get attendee tickets. So I've put a mistake here. So you're going to get 5 attendee tickets. You'll get access to a 3-day event. And you're also going to get, so see here, 10 sessions plus live Q&A. There'll be one-on-one networking with 1,000 plus attendees, customizable agenda. You'll have a 1 year to get access to the replay. So you'll be able to keep the replays for 1 year and view them. You also get proven funnels process sheets that we use. So everything we've built into Virtual Event Summit, everything we've done with Virtual Event Summit, we've been like basically writing it out. We've been formulating a process that we'll be able to then pass on and help you with when you actually implement your own virtual events. And this is a 3-day event, which is going to go in depth into what we've done for it. And it includes the event structure, how to sell at your virtual event as well, how you can make money selling tickets, and then also make money selling spots to a workshop or mastermind at the event itself. I've got a couple of really good speakers that have sold millions of dollars in using this process. Tickets, people buy tickets to the event, and then selling access to a workshop or a mastermind on the back. I've got a couple of speakers that are going to be talking on that. It's an area that I've done a bit of, but I'm not as experienced as others. So I've got those people that are more experienced than me to come in and explain exactly how they do that. And they'll be going through that, giving you the processes and exactly what you need for that as well. And then basically on the launch itself, we're going to be I'll include the individual prices, so I'll be able to show you. But basically, when you get access today, you obviously don't have to pay the launch price. So after launch, the price is going to be minimum $97 per month for this package. That's going to include the front end Skola software. It includes all access. Now, our all access package is 30 days free, and then it's $47 per month. Skola Pro, which is going to be $67 at the event itself, at the launch event itself. And then we've got Virtual Event Summit, which we're selling tickets to for $47 and $97 at launch. So you're going to be able to get access to all of that. And let me go through the individual prices. I've seen that I need to update some of my slides here. But basically what you will be getting is, I'll go through this again, the prices that we have. So our launch price when we launch, it's $197 to get access to Skola front end. Our launch price when we launch is going to be $47 for all access right away, and then $47 per month thereafter. Our launch price for Skola Pro is going to be $67, and our launch price for Virtual Event Summit is going to be $47. So as a result of getting access to our founder deal today, you're going to get advanced access to everything within that package for a one-time fee of $297. So I'm just trying to find where that is. There we go. Need to update a few of these slides here. And you're going to be able to register for that deal at ve.skola.com/earlybirdbundle. So that's not available yet. You're actually going to be able to register for that at this, and you're going to be able to get in at that $297 price. And that's going to save you a substantial amount of money off the launch price as well. So this bundle, if it's $197 for this, $67 for this, $47 for this, that's over $200 already. And that's over $300 already. And then another $47. So it's about $360 roughly that the launch price will be if you buy everything, all these upgrades on launch. But you're going to get access to it for $297 one time as part of this founder deal. And also as part of this, I'm going to include some bonuses as well. So the bonuses I'm going to include is you're going to get you're going to get 3 done for your virtual events with 3 sales funnels. So if you're not sure about what virtual event you can run right away, or if you want like some really good examples of how to do this, I'm actually going to give you access to these within your account. So you'll have 3 complete done for you funnels. That's not including the Virtual Event Summit funnel. That's not including the free funnel. This is like 3 additional funnels you'll get. And you also get the virtual events that go along with them, not just the recordings, but you'll actually get we've got Word documents with scripts, and you're going to be getting those scripts, the full products that are included with those. So you can actually deliver them yourself if you want. So you can take our events, rebrand our events, and we give you everything you need to deliver the product as well. Like one of them is an outsourcing product. Another one's like a product creation product. And from memory, another one's like a memberships product. And you'll be able to deliver those, or you'll be able to use our recordings of those as well. And you're also going to included with this bundle, you'll get 5 tickets to Virtual Event Summit. You'll be able to give those away if you want. So you can actually give them to other people. You can use them yourself, and you can share them with others if you want as well. And that's going to be included within this package today as well. So if you've seen this and you want to get access, put a 1 in the box right now if you want to get access to this. If you're excited about this deal, let us know. Let me know in the chat right now. And because you're on this pre-webinar, I can't do this publicly because this replay is going to be released, and I'm going to be releasing this replay out to everyone. And this founder price is going to be available. And I said that we'd be only enrolling people from the 23rd of May. But if you're here today, what I'll do is I'm going to give you a special link because we need to make sure that everything's working, that everything's connected up. So if you want to get access to this, today you're going to have until the webinar ends, and you'll be able to get access to this. And I've got to check that this is working. So I'm just going to check right now. This is not something that that we will be doing for everyone, and you'll be able to get access to this software this weekend and all of the bonuses attached to it as well. So let me just see how we do that. And KS10, give me a message at sam@skola.com, and I'll send you out the difference there because there is a substantial difference. And I'll share that with you there. But okay, here you go. So .com/ hopefully this is right. Let me know that this works. For some reason, it didn't actually include the link there, but just copy that link right there, this one that I'm sending out now, and let me know that this works here. And if it does, then that's really good. If it doesn't, then I'll figure it out. But let me know in the chat. Once you've successfully come in, put an I'm in the chat, and then let me know. And what I'm going to be doing is sending you out access immediately after this webinar. You actually may get automatically registered. And then that's kind of like a reward for being on this call. Also, as part of this, I'm also going to give you access as well to I've got as well a full plan that I created for virtual events that I'll be giving you that you can customize for your own virtual events. That's going to be really helpful. And as part of this also, I'm going to be sending out an invite to a webinar that I'll be doing, as well as our start training. Our start training is basically you're going to get 2 tickets to our start training. Our start training is going through the software itself. It's like going through the software in detail, the features, how they work, and going through everything in detail with you, sharing that with you over a live workshop so you can ask questions. And that'll be happening about 2 or 3 days after our launch. That start workshop will begin, and that'll help you to get up to speed with the software. So that's happening on probably the 1st of June, that'll start. And our virtual event summit, you'll also get 3 tickets to that, or 5 tickets to that. So you'll be able to attend that as well. And that'll be sent out manually as well. So let me know once you've got in successfully, put I'm in once you've actually successfully purchased. I just want to make sure we were doing some testing, so it was in test mode. So let me know that you're actually able to go through and get access. And once you've got access, put an I'm in the chat so I know who you are as well. And I'll also be inviting you out to our private community that we have for our virtual events with Skola as well. So it's our Skola community group, our VIP group. And one of the benefits as well of being a Skola All Access user is that we've got other funnels coming in. We've got other products that we're going to be adding in, you're going to be able to do challenges in the future and training in the future. So we're also going to be updating those features in as well. And you'll see a lot is going to be happening over the next year within that package. So you definitely want to be a part of that. And you'll be immediately able to get access to that today. So let me know in the chat what you think and that you've got access. Can we do unlimited number of events with the software? Yes. So if you get access today, you get lifetime on all of the events. And in the future after the event, we will have limits on it. We have to limit it, obviously. But when you get access today, you get lifetime and you get access to unlimited domains. And you get unlimited personal domains. So you can't use these with clients, unlimited personal domains. And you also get as well unlimited events, unlimited campaigns as well. So you can run an unlimited amount of these. You can run an unlimited amount of funnels. There's no limits on that either as well. What about booths for sponsors? Cool. So booths for sponsors is included in All Access, and that's going to be delivered after about a week. No, to be safe, I'll say 2 weeks after the launch. So roughly mid-June. So the second week of June. So the second week of June, you'll be able to get access to our sponsorships and booths upgrade. And if you have All Access, then that'll be included with you. So we're doing testing with it at the moment. And so far, we've got to make space for it, but you'll basically be able to add another sponsorship booth that someone, a limited number of businesses will be able to get, which will give them further access for advertising within your virtual event. So that's the real benefit for a company over. So Kevin, try this link that I'm going to put in chat. So Kevin, try this one here. Kevin was just saying he's having problems with purchasing. So I'll just reply to you here. So try this URL right here. This is this URL right here. This is a private link. And this is one that I'm not going to be sharing publicly. This is going to be closed down as well. I've opened it up just for this event. So it'll be closed down after we end the live. You'll see that you'll no longer be able to purchase this. So that's just for that. And you'll be able to, and I'll also be sending out the access and all that. Right now we have to send out access manually still. I don't think we've connected it up. The developer will be working on that, I think today or tomorrow, but you'll be receiving your access. I'll be basically sending a list off to the developer of people to add, and you can literally start creating your virtual event tonight before we even launch this. So this is a special founder deal you can benefit from and get access with, and you can literally just start creating your virtual event right away. You could be making sales before the actual launch of our event. And cool. Jono, this is for virtual events with Skola. In terms of member app and challenges app, those are separate software. So this is just for today that this is virtual events that you'll get access to here. Now, if we add challenges and we add training memberships in the future into Skola, so if we do that, and we are planning on doing that in the future, then if you're an all access user, then you will get those. Welcome, Nobby, fantastic. Welcome, Johnny, as well. Awesome. Great to have you in as well. And I'll be reaching out to you after this. I've got an onboarding email that I'll send you, and you'll be able to get access to that. Ramon, if you're part of our super early bird package, then you don't need to purchase this. So our super early bird package included a couple of additional products. So it included agency, and it also included the workshop. So if you review that, what you've got with that deal, it is a bit different than this, but it includes the agency and also includes the mastermind. So that's included within that deal. Cool. So future payment shows $47 for each month, starting in 30 days. That's correct. So it's $297 plus $47 each month if you decide to keep All Access. So the All Access is an add-on. It's an add-on that we need to have in there. The reason we need to have it is it also includes other limits of media uploads. So media, it costs money to host videos. So we're able to unlock more media data for you. So with All Access, you get a terabyte of data. So that's a lot of data that you can upload virtual events to. So if you're pre-streaming your events and you want to have lots and lots of events updated and added, also if you're doing this for clients in the future, because this also includes commercial rights, then you can use that data for that. And there's that element. Plus we're building this ongoing. And as a Skola All Access user, you're essentially a VIP customer of ours. So you are going to receive a bunch of other features, which are costing us a significant amount of money to put in, and they will cost some money to maintain. And you also get the benefits of that. But the benefit for you is you're only paying $47 per month. So, you sell you make a few ticket sales, you've made your money back on that, and you don't have to pay the exorbitant fees that other software will sell. Now, if you decide you don't want All Access, you have lifetime access to Skola, the virtual event front end Skola, and you have lifetime access to Pro. So you can just give us a message and just cancel that All Access if you really want to, and you'll get cancellation on that, but you'll keep lifetime access to the other software as well. So it's an optional upgrade. See if you are using those features. If you're actively doing this and you're selling bundles, you're selling, spots to your event, then you'll see that it's probably worth keeping it because it's pretty low cost compared to the amount of money you're probably planning on making with this. But just so you can try it out, test it out, cancel it at any time. You can actually go into our software, and we actually have, you don't need to email us to cancel. You can actually cancel within the software itself. So if you can control all of that, if you wanted to cancel or pause it for a month in the future, you can do that. There's a facility for doing that we're adding in. It might actually be in there now. I'll just need to check that, but yeah, so it's fully up to you. You've got full control over that. So say, for example, 1 month, you just want to cancel it. You can just, you can cancel it. The only thing is if you cancel it, I just watch out because if you cancel it at $47, we're going to be increasing the price. So after launch, it's going to be $97 per month. So if you cancel it at $47 per month, you're going to have to pay $97 per month if you decide to reactivate it. So just be aware of that. So you can email us and ask us questions about that. But during the launch, it's going to be at a discounted price of just $47. And that helps us to, add in what we need to add in, and also helps to make sure that we don't go broke on the media charges because we can't sell a lot of that media stuff. There's a lot of with the streaming and all of that, there is additional costs and we're offering extra data for that. So it's for if you are actually planning on running pre-recorded events, a lot of them, then it's just better to have All Access for that as well. So, and it helps us to keep things going because there's expenses with that. So it would be kind of irresponsible if we were to say you get lifetime access and then we didn't have the money to continue building the software. For us, we want to build this long term. We want to turn this into SaaS. So we have to think in a different way from other software out there that might just say everything's lifetime and then there's no plan in the future. We actually we've got a pretty clear plan that we're trying to follow, and that All Access is a big part of that. Cool. Let me go down. Whoa, I've got a lot of questions now. So I'm going to actually move my questions here now that I know how to do it with 2 screens. So just purchase the package. Welcome, Rob. Fantastic. Terry says I'm in. Fantastic, Terry. Welcome. Says does not support my card type. Kevin, give me a message on sam@skola.com and I'll be able to help you with that. sam@skola.com. Fantastic. Jesus is in. I'm singing like an opera singer again. I got the super duper early founders deal. I'm in. Fantastic. Awesome, Jesus. That's amazing. Can't wait to see you at the event. And no doubt we've already had a couple of conversations in the past. So looking forward to having some more chats and what you're doing with your event as well. So I'm hoping you're putting in some work into that. You'll have to let me know when it's ready to have a look. I bought the super early deal. Cool. Laura, I mentioned the differences to that. I think I already answered that. 12% VAT. I live in Canada. Oh, Kevin, I can turn that off if you'd like. I think that's automatic. The software probably applied that, but give me a message at sam@skola.com and I will be able to turn that off for you if that's a problem. I think it's probably a software thing. It's like reading your IP from the wrong place. How can we promote this launch? KS, give me a message at sam@skola.com and I'll be able to send you over. Like everyone who's purchased Founder Access early, if you want to promote the launch, you can promote the launch. So I'll give you a link to promote it. Agency link. We don't yet have agency available for this package yet. I'm going to be revealing more about that after launch. So we've got an agency package we've been working on. So I'm really excited about it because it's working well. Like I've had to turn it off, but we're basically attracting clients to us. And I was having conversations with businesses and signing them up for done for you packages at $7,000. And it's going to be the major focus for me, what I'm doing, like building that in the systems into that over the next 2 to 3 months. And I'm working with a friend of mine who does this. They basically run a consultancy and they do like hundreds of thousands of dollars per month through their done for you package. And he's kind of been coaching me through how to do that because I've done similar things in the past, but there's a different way that's working right now of doing it, which is not so familiar with me. So I'm working on that. We've also got an agency upgrade coming into the software to make that whole process like really streamlined and easy. So once I've got that working, and I need some time after launch to turn it back on and get it working. Once I've got that working, then I'll be sharing my results and going through kind of what we're building into the software to do that. So I anticipate that it's going to be really good and I'll be able to share that probably within the next 2 to 3 months after launch. So just hold out for that if you're interested in that agency package, but there's nothing stopping you from selling, helping businesses with virtual events now. You can run them for businesses through your account right now because the front end includes commercial. It just means that we've got invoicing for clients coming in the future. We've got multiple clients being able to be added to your account, like team functionality being added in. We've got like a sales system coming in that'll help you with selling as well for these virtual events. And there's just like a really good solid agency backend we're building into it that I'll be able to reveal, but we're about 2 to 3 months away, I think, from being able to reveal that. And I'm hopeful that what I've been doing with consulting will, once I've turned it back on and we start doing it like 100%, that I'll be able to share that and it'll go really well. If it doesn't go well, then we'll probably make tweaks and improve it over time and let you know. But I think it will go really well. So I'll be letting everyone know what my results are after doing that, after we've spent some time doing that. And that's the same process we followed with this as well. We made sure that we sold virtual events ourselves, that it was working for us. We figured out what was working, what wasn't working. So we were able to change the software, and the software looks way different from our first initial plans when we started doing this ourselves. We had like a plan of what we thought it was going to look like, and it was like, no, that wasn't a good idea. After actually going and selling tickets to a virtual event, we're like, okay, we need to do this, we're going to do that. Okay, this doesn't work. We figured this out. So, and then we were able to, as a result, the product's way better. So, yeah. Done for you, those are virtual events that can be sold. Basically, the package that I've been doing is like we go to a business, and a business is a fantastic, Fred. Fantastic. The monthly is all access. I'll go through what the all access is in just a moment. I'll recap on it. Welcome, Kevin, as well. Fantastic. I can see there's a lot of messages. I've got about 20 messages to catch up on, but I'll just explain this really quickly. The done for you package is like a business that has an audience. That's who we're targeting. A business with money who has an audience. So first of all, we need to find a business that like has a good product, has people that buy from them, and like would be able to run a virtual event for their community. So it's got to be a business that's going to it's kind of going to make sense for. So for example, if it was like an e-commerce company and they've got like a particular brand that they have, what could we run a virtual event around that people would want to buy tickets to and attend? So it requires a certain type of company. It's not going to be for every single business, that's for sure. But if we can find a business that has an audience that would be a good fit for a virtual event, like Entreport, for example, an e-commerce, like they're an email marketing software, like an agency software, digital marketing agency software. So they can run a virtual event. That makes sense. So we can go to one of these companies or this agency or this particular place, and we can put the event together for them. We can actually run it for them. And I know like a lot about this because I've got my wife, she used to do this, like put events on. That's all she did. Where like about 8 to 10 years ago, my sister, she runs events for a really, really big, one of the biggest organizations in New Zealand here. And she runs these virtual events on a weekly basis. So she's doing this for like lots of different causes, lots of different purposes. So, and there's a lot of businesses that want this and need this. They just don't know how to put it together. And also they go looking for software to do it. And the software doesn't really solve their problem. It gives them technology, but it doesn't actually share with them what works when it comes to running a virtual event. There's no like processes. There's no like, this happens on this date. This is who you need on at this time. Like, this is what you need like to set up in order to prepare this event. It doesn't include any of that. So we bring that to a business. We do the event for them. We prepare the event for them. We set a date. We set up the ticketing system. We set up the payment system, connect it up to their Stripe account and their accounts. And we run this. We prepare everything that they need. All they need to do is just tell the audience about it. We set up retargeting. We do all of that. We charge $7,000 for it. And you can charge a recurring. If they decide that they want to do this thing every 6 months, you can charge, $1,000 every 6 months, $2,000 every 6 months. But for the first event, the setup of it, $7,000. And that's done for you. So we do that for a business. They pass $7,000. It's a great deal for them because they get all of their community together. They're probably they're probably able to sell tons more of their product through this virtual event. And it also is great for them. Like, it's great for them to be able to reach out and utilize new technology to go and do this thing. So that's what we're doing with these virtual events. Now, the details of what we package up, what we offer a business, we're still refining that. We're still improving that. Once we've got that done, that's when we're going to be sharing details about what we're doing with that. But that's where we're moving after we've run our virtual events. We've run some virtual events ourselves. We've run some virtual events with some clients. And we're going to be sharing kind of how you can do that as well. But we're not at the stage yet where we're ready to kind of go into that, but we are building functionality into the software to make it as we do this, because we're kind of working out what we need. So that's going to be available about 2 to 3 months after. Isn't this all included in Igloo? Is a different product. So Brianna, give me an email at sam@skola.com and I can explain the differences there. But Igloo is for like another software of ours, but it's built for a different purpose. This is for virtual events. Igloo, you can create sales funnels in Igloo. But there's some functionality we can't put into Igloo, like the price sync feature. We can't do that. Like the ticket bundles, we can't do that. So there's like some reasons, but there's other plans for Igloo. And if you're looking for a funnel builder that builds funnels like websites, landing pages, all of that, Igloo will do a really good job of that. That's not what we've created here. We've created this specifically for virtual events. And you'll notice the features, they can't really be easily applied to other things. It's like, we do virtual events. This is what we do. So these are the features that work for that. Awesome. Welcome, Kevin. Fantastic. Two Kevins got in. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. You both messaged me at the same time. So that made it a lot easier to see. Fantastic. Thanks. Should we get an email after purchase? You should get an invoice, but I'll just double check that that's working. You should get one. But if you haven't, just give me a message at sam@skola.com and I'll just check. That might be something that we need to improve. So I'll have a look at that right after the call. But if you've got in and it went through successfully, you'll be there. You'll get an email manually from me. But yeah, does it only integrate with only GoToWebinar and Zoom? We've got Zapier coming up. So Zapier integration will be able to integrate with everything. And that's going to be added in, I believe, before launch. I messaged the development team just to make sure that we're getting that in before launch. And I believe that's going to be in there before launch. Zapier will basically automate it with like a bunch of different software. But if there's one that you want that we don't have integrated and makes sense, like let us know. So someone reached out to us as a speaker. He does like virtual events, like hundreds of virtual events. he reached out to us and he said, you need to allow for external embeds for live events into your software, because for us, we run our live events through Vimeo Live, and we need an interface that will like host those. Your software can host them within your streaming interface. So like, can we add that in there at the times that you need? And it's like, well, yes, that makes sense. So we're going to be doing something with Vimeo very soon. We're just looking at whether we can integrate without having to embed. So you can actually just grab your feed from Zoom, or you can grab a video from Vimeo, for example, and add it in. So we're looking at doing a few things like that. But these are really good ideas that we should do, that we've got on our list that we're going to be adding in soon. Great question, Tori. Cool. Hope that we can integrate our choice of streaming webinar software. Yeah, it is a good question.